I'm here today at Cesar Chavez Middle School in beautiful Watsonville, California, and I'm setting up a PA system today that's specifically designed for choir and small ensembles. It's kind of plug and play, and it has some interesting features and interesting products in there that's going to make it so easy for music educators, and I want to share that with you today. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these really cool features about this sound system that I put together. So we have some choir mics. These are the Earthworks choir mics, but they're good for other things. We use it for, this is a guitar ensemble, and it picks up very well. It's the P30CB. It's a great piece. It's a cardioid, but it's also very unlike a handheld, you have to get right up on it. You don't have to. So I spec'd out 3 monitors. These are actually the Mackie Thump Go. It's a powered monitor or powered speaker, but you don't have to have power connected to it. You can charge it with a battery. I knew that what we had to do was specifically get a digital board so that you could set it, leave it, save it, and move on to the next, right? And so it's really interesting. This is the Allen & Heath CQ18T, okay? The home page you could just quickly set up if you wanted to, right? Or you can go to your scenes and pull up your settings from there. Anyway, so the fader section, very simple operation. What's really important is this, let's say this is a wireless microphone. It's on Vox 1. The person doesn't know anything about equalizers. You see here, there's no real equalizer knobs or anything, okay? So you could simply go to processing, and boom, this is your processing. You could literally, what you're telling it, if you look at it, this is your EQ. Okay, if you want to set it for choir, you set it for choir. Turn on the compression. Or if you wanted to do just for announcements or what have you, you can have it for lectern. Have the compression on or not. Simple operation if you needed to take out some lows, in which I had to do earlier. I'm going to put this back on high pitch. In the choir, I had to pull down some lows and some mids to keep from feeding back, but that's it. And this is how the choir microphones are set. Is the EQ set like that? You just put it on choir. It's that easy. I also have a keyboard. This is the choir. This is the guitar stuff. I just put it on nylon. It's that easy. Keyboard, easy setup here. Put some compression on it. She said it was too bright, so I had to darken it. I had it between clear and bright, but then she thought it was too bright, so I pulled it out some to get it to full. But it's simple. You can see that's the EQ changing. You don't need to know anything about EQ. You just set it and leave it. It's that simple.
All right, so I'm just going to hit auto set. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to Paul Daniels Magic Show. I've got a new magic set available for Christmas. There we are. There you go. So it's set for you. It's all happy. It's set the game, which is great. It's also put on auto gain on. Auto gain works by. In fact, let's do that again. You carry on talking into it. Debbie McGee, Paul Daniels. So we were just reminiscing about it was the best toy.
It was a great Christmas.
So what's this doing? I see it moving itself.
So as it's peaking, or as it gets towards peak, so the peak LEDs come on 3 dB before it truly peaks. But as it gets up to the peak there, it's just bringing it back a bit, just backing off the gain a little bit. So that if you're, and this never ever happened in the history of gigs, the guitarist does the sound check. And during the gig,
Lee Anderson.
During the gig, they play slightly louder, or crank up something. So what that means is that can sit in the background. That can be always on, and that's just running in the background.
Wild.
So auto gain will just sit there in the background. You can have that on all inputs, and it will just pull back in. So you're not distorting stuff.
So the teacher wanted to have 4 wireless units. I put together the Shure SLX D series. It's really cool. You can name your own channels, and you can hook together in the back the antennas, so you could just work out of just 2 antennas rather than 4. And there's also a coupler power supply that you could buy if you're doing more than just 2 units. If you go to 3 units, you can do that, so that you can also use a antenna outside of this and run it on a couple of mic stands if need be for better reception. Lastly, the Allen and Heath CQ comes with Wi-Fi. It has its own Wi-Fi. So the CQ18T and the CQ20T have that ability. But the 12 does too, but you got to use the network connection with it and then have your own Wi-Fi processor to do that. But so you can just simply download. This is on my phone. I really didn't need to do any other way. I didn't need a tablet or anything. Just download it onto my phone. What's on here is on here. Absolutely. See it right here. I can go into there and see. I'm looking at the exact same thing. So, and it's a little bit smaller, but every bit of what's on the mixer here is on the MixPad app that you can download. So, and it's really easy to connect through its Wi-Fi, and it works just fine. What I did here for the teacher is kind of plug and play. So I went and got a labeler, and I labeled everything accordingly so that she could just easily just plug things in, and away you go. I didn't know what it would be like. I didn't want to run all the cables back to the mixer point, and so I decided to get a 12-channel snake. So we have a patch bay here that could be plugged in, and then on the patch bay itself and on all the cables I put the label on there on labels so that it all matches correctly, so that she knows, just match the cable to the right name, and it's just easy that way. And then also that's what I had done on the mixer as well. Every one of these things is set up that way. If you were to look, box 1, and then here's box 1 right here on the mixer, and then of course it's box 1 here. So all of the names are corresponding. So, and it's really cool. In the output section, it's really kind of neat. You can go into the processing, and you have feedback elimination already right there, ready to use. So that's on monitor 1, main left and right is set up for feedback elimination, and it will notch it out as you would like, however you want to do it. So
Feedback Assistant. So Feedback Assistant has got up to 16 filters per output. So there's one of these on every output, and it can be looking at every output at the same time. So you just switch it on, and you can have it on all the time. If it detects some feedback frequency, it will notch it out, and it will do a really narrow notch. So it's not destroying the sound at all. It's just getting rid of just that frequency. And you can either apply fixed or live. So fixed filters just sit there. So if you're doing your setup, you ring out your system, wave your mics around, do whatever, you're going to get feedback. It will notch it out. Job done. You can then put it in hold, and you're all good. Then you can switch over to live. And live has a recovery option. So that means it will detect stuff. So during the gig, you go up front and you start rocking out with the crowd. You get feedback from your main left right. It will notch that out. Then you go back up on stage. You don't want that to be constantly notched out, so it just recovers. Then if you want to get really tweaky, you can get in here and you can adjust every single filter individually by width, depth, all of them by width. You can do all sorts.
And then for the main speakers, I decided to go with the Mackie line array, the LA12A, I think is what it is. Oh, no, DRM 12A. And so this is an active speaker. It's got its own amplifier in it, but it has 4 drivers. So you have a 12-inch driver, and then I don't know if you can kind of see it. I don't know. There's 3 different horns in there, 3 different high-frequency drivers, and they're all at 3 different volumes. The one that's the lowest is not as loud as the one that's in the middle, and then the one on top is the loudest, so that it can throw the farthest, right? So you get even coverage, and it is really very even in here. I wanted to do 2 aside with the subwoofer. They really may have not had the budget for that, but you know what? It's just voices and instruments, and it probably don't need that much. You're not trying to get volume over a drum set or anything like that, and so these are 2,000 watts or more aside. I've got it halfway, and it's more than enough just to carry, a choir and instruments. But and it's the most affordable of all the line arrays. You have other ones like QSC and Presonus have very affordable line arrays, and then JBL as well. But this is the least expensive, and it's just as good. It does the job just fine for something like this. I have it set on the Gator, what do you call it, Frameworks. This thing goes down to 1 single tube. and it's like a gas lift or air lift, and so it assists in lifting. It kind of pushes the speaker up, and it's easy to pull down because the speakers are about 50 pounds a piece, so they're not light. But anyways, so I thought that would be a great thing to get for them as well, to make things easy. Everything just trying to make it as easy as possible for this teacher. Here's the back of the Mackie DRM-12A. It's interesting. It's got a power plug, with the speak-on connection, right? But it goes into a regular three-pronged electrical, and then the concept is that you should be able to daisy chain the AC and the signal to up to 4, I think, boxes. And so, like I said, we're just doing one. It does have the digital processor here. It's pretty interesting. You can set up your line array as you want to if you connect to the sub crossover EQ. I got it flat for the main purpose that. I'm doing everything on the CQ18T, so there's really no need to have extra processing. Just to have the power, it's fine. So I wanted to wrap this up going over some things. So one of the biggest parts of this PA system, obviously, is that Allen and Heath CQ18T. It's a 16-channel mixer. It has a couple of stereo channels, has Bluetooth ability as well. But the main thing is some assists that they have that Allen and Heath calls assistants. And so one of the things is the channel assistants. We saw how we got the EQ, the vocal microphones, the keyboard, and also the guitars. We set it to nylon, and then that's it. A person doesn't need to know necessarily how to do equalization. There's something also that I failed to mention while I was doing the tour of it, and so I added an extra video where the Allen and Heath product specialist went over gain assist. So there's no way you can really work a mixer unless you set the gain, and a lot of people don't know what gain is or even how to set it. And so the gain assist under the configuration of that mixer is set to auto. It can do it while you even play, and it will set the gain up, and then we'll also monitor it during the performance. You just leave it on auto, and so that is a wonderful feature to have. And then also is the feedback assist that they have, and I also had the product specialist video go over on how that works as well, so it can notch out feedback. And so just to make sure, now the feedback will start to roll, but it will start to notch it out automatically. And if you set it up when you EQ the system and you check for feedback on the monitors, you can then set it to hold, and then you won't have a problem with feedback in the performance. And then also, the teacher that I set this up for got a Apple iPad and downloaded the app, and I was amazed at how quickly she took to it and how easy a function it is. Being in the industry as long as I have for several decades, I'm kind of tainted. I kind of already know this stuff and everything, and I thought that this product was going to be perfect for someone who just doesn't really know how to work knobs, but knows how to work an iPad and know how to work a cell phone. And so it works great that way. They take to it quickly, and it's easy for folks in that realm to understand this. And then also I wanted to touch base on a few other things. I have put links into the description for the Shure wireless microphones. It has wonderful features, little add-ons that you can have, like a rechargeable battery and the charging elements, dual charging docks that you can have. I had that there. If you saw the rack, it had a drawer in there. It was a nice gator drawer that actually has a couple of holes that you can notch out of it and then electrical cords through it. And then I put the docks right there and put the rechargeable batteries on it, and so they're charging. I also had the Furman PL8 there, and so that everything can be tied in and turned on automatically, so that all you have to do is turn one toggle switch on the Furman on and off, and you turn everything on, you turn everything off. It's just that ease of function that you can do. Also, I want to point out what wonderful products Mackie has made for something like this. Very affordable and very powerful, especially with the Mackie Thump Goes. Those are rechargeable batteries on those, and so it has a 12-hour life on it, and they're about 200 watts. That's all you really need for a small little function like that, and you don't have to worry about an AC cable as well as having the
as long as you have the signal cable, the my cable running to it, you're just fine. And then you can also link two speakers together, so you can have a second monitor that is the wireless feeding off of the one monitor. So if you wanted to daisy chain that, you daisy chain it wirelessly. So that's no wires at all for that second monitor, as long as it can pick up the signal from the other one. And then lastly, the Mackie DRM12A with the line array ability and everything. It just had such an even coverage so that everybody can hear in that gymnasium. So my name is Mitch. I am the ed rep out of Bakersfield, California. And you can always hit me up on Teams, Mitchell Garcia. Of course, you can find me. That's no problem. Just put in the search bar. And if a music educator is taking a look at this, just go ahead and reach out to us, schoolcc@musicarts.com. Tell them what school you go to if you don't have a rep already, and what city and state you're in, and we're going to find somebody to connect with you so that you can ask the right questions and get quotes or what have you. Again, for the music and arts reps, I have put links down below for the products at our music and arts website, so you can have the variant numbers, so it's just easy to access. And again, hit me up if you have any questions or what have you, and I'll be more than willing to just talk, and I enjoy this actually. So you're never going to interrupt my day for a question like this. Okay. Well, thank you all very much, and I hope this helps. Okay. Have a great day.